So welcome back. We're going to remove zits now. We're going to use the high frequency layer first of the frequency separation action that we just started. So select that layer, come over to the Band-Aid icon, which is the brush tools, and choose the healing brush tool, not the spot healing brush tool. You can use both, but the healing brush tool I find works a little bit area. You can dial it in. Make sure current layer is selected and you have a diffusion of about 5. Now we're going to hold the option key and zoom in with the mouse wheel, and we're going to start at the top and work our way down. So we have a little bit of acne in some spots, and many customers are a little bit paranoid about the acne. So the way we fix that is we sample an area near it, and you hit option, you click to select that area, and then we are going to just sort of brush over that acne. See, that's really easy. So I'm going to do this really quick. I'm sampling nearby, and I'm going over the spots there. So I'm going to do this rather rapidly, the way I would normally do it if I was just editing a photo for a client. And you can see it moves along kind of quick. You're going to be doing this in multiple passes because you're not going to be able to see everything the first time you do it. And then we had this little area where we, on the clone stamp, where we removed like a piece of grass or something. And we can now go back over that. And we're just copying the texture from this area and pasting over it. But you notice it doesn't change the color. It just replaces it with the texture. So that's what we are doing. The color is on the low frequency layer. So we will be editing that next after we go through all of this little bit of area here. Now, I leave a little bit because, it's a little bit natural, but anything that's really obvious, you want to take care of it. Remember, this does follow. If you watch, after I click an area, and when I press, you see the little plus icon that's to the left and up a little bit from the circle? That's telling me that area. So if I go too far down, it's actually going to copy over the area that I wanted, but I don't like that. So let's just make this brush a little bit smaller by using the left and right bracket keys. If you want to make it bigger, use the right bracket. Smaller, use the left bracket. And we'll take a little area and we will do it. So there we go. Not too difficult. Doesn't take much time. Just kind of tedious. You can be as much of a perfectionist at this as you'd like. But remember, if you're editing 20 photos, it's probably going to take you 30 minutes per photo. So I usually spend about 10-15 minutes on this portion. It's one of the most important portions. Also, if a client has like a mole or something and you want to leave the mole, for example, it looks like she has a mole right there. This mole isn't too bad. Sometimes they're pretty bad. Like this one's kind of a bad mole, but it's still a mole and it's part of their character. So what we do is we sample near it and we cover it over completely, but then we do a neat function. It's Shift Command F. And to show you that, you just type in fade, and you can see that it's Shift Command F. It's right there in the edit menu, and you can fade the last thing that you did. So to give you an example, it's right there, the mole that we did. At 100%, this is what it looks like. But if we go all the way down to 0, there it was before, and we can sort of tone it down a little bit. So it looks like 39% might be good. So if we see, it's still there, but we've made it a little bit less obvious. And so Shift Command F is an awesome tool for moles and things like that. Let's go back up here to the top and maybe zoom out just a little bit more, and we can seek and destroy here. Some of these areas are a little bit more difficult, and it's hard to tell if you want to fix it with the high frequency layer or if you want to fix it with facial blending. Like this little spot right here, you can see it's got some contrasty red in it, but I don't really want to go over it with the healing brush tool because it's an issue that's underneath the texture of the skin. This is the texture, these lines and things like that. The colors are on the lower layer, on the low frequency layer. So we can edit those in part 2. So let's get in here and knock out these acne spots. And you can be as detailed as you want. I'm usually not taking too much time at this. And up here is a little bit harder to deal with. I'll probably do this in sections. You don't have to do all of it at one time. You can actually sort of do little pieces of it, so it's not too bad. And if you find a good spot in the middle of a lot of other spots, you can do all the spots around it. That's a nice little trick. If we look here, we have this little area right here that's pretty good, and we can go in here and fix all of these, and like so, and works like magic. We're just using the same area. We don't have to keep sampling, but when we move away from it, we'll have to sample a new area. And it's doing a pretty good job here of cleaning this up. And there we go. We have a unique little spot right here. I'll make this a little bit smaller. And we will sample this area down here and then work it up. Work that magic. And then over here, same thing. Right here on this spot. And this is it. This is how it works. Remember, it's at your discretion how far you want to go with it. If something doesn't look right to you, like this mole right here, I like it, but it's a little bit too harsh, so I'll fade it down to 45 and leave it. You can also get into, sometimes women have these little spots on their eyes from makeup that was flaking off or something by the time you actually got to this portion of the photo. And you can fix it. Now we have some glasses here, so they present some unique challenges. But we can get rid of some spots that caught light flares. And you can see it does a darn good job of fixing it. Some of it's okay. We have a hidden acne spot in there. Maybe some of these little things that we don't like. And you can go as far as you want. And this is by far the most tedious process. It will take you the most time. If you use makeup before you shoot, you don't really have this issue because the makeup takes care of most of it. Let's get back up here and work down this nose area. And on a on a close-up of it, it looks like we've done a lot, but you know, it looks kind of obvious to you. But when you back out, you can see, if we turn this off, you see all those little spots? We've removed all of them. And looks like we have a few more here. And in here she has some sort of unique thing going on. I'll make this a little bigger and come in here and just take care of that. Glasses are able to hide a lot of it for us. And some dirt on the arm or some of the glasses, I'm not sure. And some darker spots. It really, with that filter from the glasses, it really highlighted some of the darker spots, and we can easily take care of that with frequency separation. Let's get down here on this nose and let's remove the rest of them. That's a mole, so I'm actually just going to fade that 36%, and we'll hit OK. And we have some sort of spot issue going on here, lots of little spots. So I'll pick an area in the middle and wipe out all those spots around it so that I save time sampling. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up this image. And one more thing, in the eyes, you can get in there and you can try this at a really macro level. You may find it a little bit difficult and it doesn't do quite right. That's something that we can fix on the facial blending portion. So I wouldn't really try too much of it in there. It does okay, but I'd be careful. Just because it's mostly color that's in there and not texture like on the skin. So if we come down here to the teeth, you can see we've got some shine going on there. It might be a little bit distracting if they've got something on their teeth like from lunch or something. You can take care of that. Another thing I'm going to show you real quick is you can touch up eyebrows and things as well. You do them one strand at a time. So if we have got like a little black pore there, you can actually remove eyelashes by sampling an area near, or excuse me, eyebrows, and you can sample an area near it and just do one strand at a time, and you can tidy those up, especially when they're in the bright light. Get some issues like that. That's it right there. That had a eyelash near it, and you can tidy up those eyebrows and make them, the way the girl might have wanted it. And it does an outstanding job of taking care of that for you by just sampling nearby and doing a little strand at a time. So, we don't like that. What do we have here? Some sort of, let's take this. Oh, didn't like that either. Oh, we have some of it is underneath. Some of it's black and red, so it won't always perfectly do it. We'll have to do it on the facial blending section, which comes next. So you go through your image and you remove the things that you don't like that are on the texture of the skin, not the color. And I'm going to go ahead and finish up this photo and see you in the next video for the facial blending, which is what we're going to do next.